And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glassford. Come right back at you here from Lakers Fast Break, Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts, on the latest Pop Culture Cosmos, where we're talking about the legacy of Tron, which is not very good right now because of the failure of Tron Ares. WWE goes AI. What is the real story with Seth Rollins' injury? And also, are there just too many video games in the month of October? We go ahead and discuss all those issues on the latest Pop Culture Cosmos, wherever you get your podcasts. John Costa's here. Go ahead and check out what he's doing today at Lakers Corner and Clutch Talk. Make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe. He is our social media guru out there. Nobody knows the social media handles like he does right there for you at Lakers Corner, indeed. Also, just want to give a big shout out to our good friends, the Lakerholics crew. The Lakerholics, of course, hopefully will be by this weekend. They're not happy. Find out how not happy they are when you stop by Lakerholics.com with Laker Tom, Jamie Sweet, Michael Heinrich, L. Rob. Big shout out to those guys as they cover the Lakers as only they can at Lakerholics.com. My good friend at Trip Show Shop, you see him right behind you with some great artwork right there. Canvas art looking good. Luka looking good. The Lakers not so good. Kobe's right there. And you know what, John? He sent me something else in the mail. A little
another thing?
I got to go ahead and show it right here.
On stream?
Open it up right now.
Okay.
Here we go. All right. At Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter and also YouTube as well. If you want something designed in a way that you've only imagined before, go ahead and reach out to at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. Here we go right here. This is what he sent me this time.
Oh, that's
much love and respect. That is just awesome. Overwhelming again. Cannot thank enough Drip Show at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. And then, of course, if you do want something designed like this and a pillow, John has a Lakers pillow as well. Go grab that pillow, man. There you go. Right there. Boom. Also as well, hats, t-shirt, canvas art right behind me with Luka and Kobe right there. That's all Drip Show. So if you want something good like that for your holiday season as a gift to a Lakers, Dodgers fan, sports fan, pop culture fan,
great gift.
Taylor Swift, I'm sure he'll do a Swiftie thing as well. Go ahead and make sure you reach out to my good friend at Drip Show Shop.
Big shout out to Drip Show, man. Everything I see, literally my whole setup around here. Him. I got a hat up there. Him. I got so many stuff around here, man. I sleep with this pillow sometimes. Shout out Drip Show, man. Real one.
There you go. Shout out indeed. And if you want something good looking like that, or if you have a design, something you've only dreamed of, go ahead and reach out at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. Want to make mention tomorrow, I have a special interview I'm going to drop tomorrow for everyone out there for a brand new book that just became available today. It is now on Amazon. I've got it in my hands right here. A Hollywood Ending. The Dreams and Drama of the LeBron Lakers by Yaron Weitzman. I have an interview with the author. I'm going to pop on the channel tomorrow. I hope you get a chance to check it out. This is the book the Lakers don't want you to read, but you, as a Lakers fan, must read. It gets you all the juicy details. I've read quite a bit of it on the digital format, and I just got the hard copy in. I can't wait to go ahead and dive back in once again. Juicy stuff, especially within the last few years. We talked all the time about the Lakers and how they've not been able to do this, how they're cheap and not spending money on that, or this and that behind the scenes. Well, he goes behind the scenes and tells you stuff I didn't even know about, Joe didn't even know about, Empire Jeff didn't even know about, John Costa didn't even know about. So if you want to go ahead and check it out, it is A Hollywood Ending. I'm going to put up the link right there on Amazon. A Hollywood Ending, The Dreams and Drama of the LeBron Lakers by Yaron Weitzman. Go ahead and check out my interview tomorrow, but get this book today. It is really a keeper for you. And if you want to know what's gone on in the past few years behind the scenes in El Segundo, right there for you. that book. Indeed.
Gerald, how did you land that interview? That's a great interview.
Again, when you have one of the best Lakers channels like you do, my friend, they come at you. These PR codes, they come by, they send those emails, they say, hey, would you like to go ahead? Yes, indeed. Would you like the book? Yes, indeed. And there you go. Absolutely. So my interview with Yaron Weitzman of that book will be available tomorrow for you right there. And please go ahead and support him by getting that book today. If you have a Lakers fan in your life that wants to know exactly everything behind the scenes, pick it up today. Well, it is, of course, the Lakers postgame show, the world famous Lakers postgame show. And if you are a radio station listening to us, I have solicited radio stations from all around the West Coast and here in Las Vegas to go ahead and give us a chance here. If you want something better than what you got in your radio lineup today with all those same old, samey voices that you've got out there, get rid of them. Move them aside. They cost too much. They're nothing. Bring us in there. Bring actual 2025 entertainment. It's only we can bring right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. We talk about anything. NBA, Lakers, Dodgers, Major League Baseball, football. We do it all.
Do it all. Do it all.
Absolutely. So go ahead. And if you want to hit me up, Lakers Fast Break at yahoo.com. All right. Enough of the pitches out there. Let's get to the not so fun stuff tonight. The started the season tonight at the Crypto.com arena at the second game of a NBC Peacock doubleheader. The first game was won in double overtime by Oklahoma City by 1 point over the Houston Rockets. And the Lakers in the night game at home against the Golden State Warriors without LeBron, without Maxi Kleber, although, your mileage may vary on Maxi Kleber. But no LeBron in the lineup as they faced off against Steph Curry and the Olden State Warriors, as we called them on last night's show. Well, they didn't look so old to us as they repeatedly beat the Lakers time and time again up the court. Transition defense was awful. Half-court defense was at times abysmal. The offense didn't seem to flow very well at all. And the Lakers, despite Luka trying to carry the team with a 43 points, 12 rebound, 9 assist game, 1 assist short of a triple-double. The Lakers just couldn't get it done. They just never got back in the second half. They fell down by, almost 20 points in that third quarter. It looked pretty bleak for a while. Their third quarter woes continue. They tried to make a comeback in the fourth quarter, but it was not meant to be as the Lakers lose by 10, 119-109 to start the season. And here today to discuss today's game. Good man indeed, like I said, it is the man behind Lakers Corner. Please go ahead and follow him on social media. It's our social media guru himself. It is John Costa. John, great to have you here. Looking forward to a good conversation on that, my friend. Legend 350 says he's going to be heading on here in a second and he could easily gloat about his Warriors being the victors today, but he is a classy guy and does not do it. That's why we love Legend on this show, because he does not rub it in our face when the Lakers get humiliated at home in the first game of the season. Your thoughts? Austin struggled at times, especially defensively. This team fouled quite a bit, extensively, sending Butler to the line time and time again. Was it 14 free throws? How many free throws? It was actually 16 of 16 Jimmy Butler was from the free throw line. He feasted for 31 points overall. Stephen Curry had 23 himself, 8 of 8. Those two combined, 24 of 24, which A, means they excelled at the free throw line, and B, the Lakers defense just couldn't stop fouling.
Right. And first of all, what's up to everybody? Everybody here in the chat that's saying hi. Very good to see everybody. Lakers freaking basketball is back, man. Couldn't think of a better time. Love it. Thank you, Best League. Appreciate you for giving me the congrats. There you go, Gerald, setting up the pillow just like me. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the game though, guys, because the game started real sloppy. Like we started really sloppy. We had, I believe it was like 5 turnovers in the first like 5 minutes, and then the first quarter with like 8 turnovers as a team. We were really sloppy on that end. But and then Austin Reeves ended up, kind of figuring out he wanted that little run. Luka, he was he was carrying the offensive load the entire game, but especially early in that game. And we go on that run at the end of the second quarter. We ended the second quarter, like heading into halftime, so great. Like this is the way we play right here. We were, defensively all locked in. We were on a string. It looked like we was like just one team playing defense instead of 5 individual players playing defense. And if y'all hoop out there, y'all know what I'm talking about. You got to have the defense on the string, and we had that in the end of that second quarter. Offensively, we were firing all cylinders. Man, when I tell you, Gerald, where we lost this game was that third quarter, in my opinion. Oh my goodness, man. The start of that third quarter, we just decided to take everything that we did at the beginning of the second quarter. I mean, at the end of the second quarter, and just say, forget it all. Let's do the actual total opposite. Let's stop running an efficient offense. Let's keep getting backdoor cutted. Like, listen, guys, I understand it's Stephen Curry. I understand he's super elite off the ball, but we cannot allow him to get to like 8 to 10 points every game off backdoor cuts. That's not a winning strategy, guys. It's just not a winning strategy. So on that front, the game was even back and forth until that third quarter. When they went on that run in the third quarter, like granted, I know we went on that like 9-0 run in the fourth and brought it back to a 6-point game. The air was just already out of the game, at least for my opinion. Like the air was just out of the game. And then when Curry hit that last 3, the air was really just out of the game, to be honest with you. So, I mean, that's that. I mean, look, like my biggest thing, my biggest takeaway that I'm taking from this game is let's please not have the same third quarter woes that we had last year, because I think that was where we really, honestly got screwed over last year. Was our third quarter woes, because we'd have a good second quarter, have to have a third quarter woe, put ourselves in a hole, have a good fourth quarter, but then we have to give so much in the fourth quarter that we end up losing by 6, 7, or what I'm saying, a little smaller margin. But that's where I'm at with it. Would love to get into some of the other stuff, some of the some of the individual players. But what about you, Gerald? Like, where's your thoughts on all this? Let me see what the chat's talking about here.
First up, big shout out to the chat, awesome chat, and also our mods. Truly appreciate our mods. Some of the greatest mods in all of the internet are right here at the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate it. Big shout out to Gustavo for subscribing. Welcome for being part of the Lakers Fast Break family. Cannot thank you enough for doing so. No Joker, I'll start off with him. Put a $10 super chat. Thank you, my friend. A comedy of errors. We need someone to punish the paint. Punish with force, with energy, with resistance. That changes everything in this game. And I couldn't say, I cannot say I agree with disagree with you at all. I couldn't agree with you more on this. It absolutely was a comedy of errors at this point, several times. JJ as well needs to fit some of this blame, because the fact is, you don't leave Marcus Smart out there after he picks up his third foul in the first half. It's coming down to with his temperament. He doesn't know how to turn or lift off the gas pedal. He just doesn't. Getting his fourth foul was costly. Then getting Reeves his fifth foul in that third quarter was also another issue that JJ needs to prevent. He needs to understand that you cannot have these guys get into foul trouble that deep into foul trouble that's so early when you need them later in the game. He needs to figure out a better rotation with guys coming off the bench that can help give you some kind of force. Also, their transition defense, John, was absolutely, again, abysmal. This is something that was all your same old song from last year. And LeBron, 40 years old, isn't running up and down that court this time around, so you can't blame it on him. The Golden State Warriors were hustling. Their 35, 40-year-old guys were hustling more than the Lakers, which is absolutely embarrassing. Their defense and recovery, they're not communicating at all. It was absolutely disappointing to see that. And I know that a lot is going to be put on Austin for his defensive issues, especially because so much money is riding on the line for him. He did make up a little bit in the fourth quarter. His game totaled out. It looks better on the scoreboard than it was as a total collective whole. 9 of 16, 1 of 5 from 3, 26 points overall, and 9 assists. I mean, it looks good on the scoreboard, but there was some really red flags that are concerned to us. Jared Vanderbilt, my friend, and again, we stress this. We are not on Vando Hill, John.
Not
Costa.
at all. Not at all.
And no joker. I got nothing but love for you, my friend. And I know you're a big Vando fan, but he has to be something of at least I guess something they have to at least be somewhat concerned about on the offensive end. And today he was absolutely done. Catching the ball was an issue.
No joker.
Catching the ball was an issue for him. And if he's not going to be able to do anything for you offensively, he has to be the lock-down guy on defensively to be able to guard Steph or rotate over on Butler. And today, it wasn't happening. They were, as a defensive total, John, they, again, could not defend without fouling. Butler and Curry were drawing fouls left and right. And that's just a disaster for a team like Golden State, or if they play Oklahoma City, or if they play a team with a seasoned veteran that knows the tricks to get himself to the line.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Jimmy and Curry, there was a point out there, to your point, Gerald, about being like the seasoned vets and knowing how to get to the line. There was a point where they were just doing work, to be honest with you, and just simply manipulating the game, having your hand in the right place, and just getting to the line. But one thing I want to touch on real quick is DeAndre Ayton, because I mean I see a lot of people going off on him, and this is even something that I said during the playback, because I do a playback here on for Lakers Corner as well, and I was talking about look, DeAndre Ayton didn't have the best game, didn't really clean the boards like how we would want. He only had 6 rebounds, 10 points, but I think at least, and this is where I am here with DeAndre Ayton, when he's coming into this team, I wasn't thinking of all right, cool, we're gonna have somebody that can be that traditional big man, back people down and come down in post and be like that, paint thrasher. I thought, cool, he provides us more than what Jackson Hayes provided us with that, but I don't think that's why he's coming into this team. I think he's coming into this team for his role next to Luka Doncic, for that rim running that he's gonna be doing, next to Luka, and kind of protecting the rim. He didn't protect the rim as much this game, but we've seen him do it in preseasons. We've seen him do it in past seasons. I do believe that he can do that. I believe that this was more of a down game on him. I don't want Lakers Nation to kill and ridicule him, because I mean, as Gerald, Lakers Nation is quick. You don't have too many bad performances up your sleeve until Lakers Nation is not down your neck. And
I said it during playback that it's going to take. You can set your watch to the amount of minutes that fired JJ is going to trend on Twitter. You can set your watch to it,
right? And you could set your watch too for watching the trend. When is get rid of Ayton gonna come up if he keeps playing like this? Granted, I don't think he'll keep playing like this. I think he's gonna come along a lot more as he just continues to get more reps with Luka, as he continues to get more reps with the team. Because in the center,
today was as pedestrian Ayton today. It's
it
not
was
dominating pedestriating.
That's a good one. That's a good one. But look, man, I think it's a sign of concern, but I don't think it's worth us flipping out about, especially being the first game of the season, especially being that where we're really going to see Aiden's impact, in my opinion, is with that 2-man game with Luka, and he's only going to be able to get good at that with reps over time, which is part of, I don't know who said the comment earlier. So if I didn't give you credit, I'm sorry about that. But somebody said the comment of is this team even practicing? Practice is going to be so massive for this team, for Luka and Ayton to just get more reps, get under their belt, to be honest with you. And yeah, 805 Hayes is actually pretty solid, but pretty solid as a backup big. And to my point that I was mentioning is Aiden provides us more of that interior presence than Hayes ever did, to be honest with you. Even though Aiden may have not had the best game this game, like this is not DeAndre Aiden. I'm not saying he's best center in the league type thing, but he's also not a 10-6 type guy. And I think him having a good game next to Luka, him figuring out that pairing next to Luka, that right there is an automatic 6 to 8 points every game just off simple lobs and rolls to the hoop. But again, just something you got to figure out within the system. But absolutely, though, I don't think that DeAndre Ayton played up to his potential, but I'm also not going to die on that hill over the first game, especially when he'll come along a lot more with Luka, in my opinion.
RD23 says Braun will make Ayton look like he's on an episode of Beyond Scarcity. Good one, RD23. Good one indeed.
Legend.
Legend's here. And before I give him a formal introduction, I wanted to go ahead and mention on Twitter, Jovan Buha translated the post game from JJ Redick. JJ Redick said that the Lakers haven't been ready to play since the start of the third quarter since last season. Let me just repeat that to you again. JJ Redick said the Lakers have not been ready to play to start the third quarter since last season, and that he and the group need to make some changes. My answer
it's been longer than that. This was going on with Darvin Ham.
Exactly. This is something that's been handed down from coach to coach for quite some time. But you think? I'm glad he finally noticed this. Absolutely. Just
it's what happens when you don't have an identity. You don't have an identity. Yeah. You don't have a system. You don't have something that you can back up your miscues on. When you're not hitting your shots, that happens in an 82-game season. So what you have to fall back on is your fundamentals. You have to fall back on a system that puts your team in a position to at least stay competitive during those lulls. And when you don't have an identity and you don't have a system and you don't have the fundamentals and you have Jared Vanderbilt shooting threes and going to the basket at crucial moments in the third and fourth quarter, what is going on? Who allowed this to happen? I mean, even Mike Brown benched Bynum for shooting an ill-advised three in a game that really didn't matter. So sitting there and saying, I got to figure something out that's been going on even before you were there. Are you capable of changing what's already there? Doesn't look like it.
I think you're on mute, Gerald.
You're on mute, Gerald.
That is Joe Soro, aka Mr. Simblades, simblades.com. Go ahead and make sure if you want your lawn transformed into something much more magical than it is today, go ahead and reach out to Simblades, simblades.com. That was Joe Soro. I cannot say I disagree with him as well. Also here today, a good man indeed. It is, of course, the man behind I Got Next Sports Media. It is the legend himself. Great to have you here. Before we get into your commentary, my friend, and again, I love the fact that you come on, you're a Golden State fan, but you do not rub it in our face. You do not gloat. You were just absolutely just nothing but class all the way. And that's why we love having you on the show, my friend, whether it's win or lose. And I just cannot stand, thank you enough for being here, my friend. But let's go ahead and get to comment really by No Joker. Appreciate again the super chat. He said Braun would have muscled his way into 20 points and put some brothers on the floor, and it would have been a little bit more forceful. He would have gotten angry. He looked.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Joe's reaction was hilarious.
Yeah, that was his comment. So I'm just gonna.
Whose comment?
From No Joker.
Oh,
some brothers.
Yeah, repeating it was yes.
The good hilarious.
Yes,
that was
hey, it's super chat. He paid for it, so it is. Exactly verbatim from what he said. And I know you guys took humor in that. As soon as I said it, I know I was going to pay for it. That's all I'll say on that. But Legend, again, great to have you here. Braun, yes, he was looking very dapper tonight, very stoic at times. Even when Luka was doing well, he seemed to be very stoic. But need I digress on that? Golden State feasted on the Lakers defense tonight. Basically, they just fell into whatever trap that Butler or Curry baited them into. 24-24 at the line. Absolutely magnificent performance from the free throw line. And if the Lakers continue to get baited in by every single veteran player who knows how to trick the refs into calling fouls like that, it's going to be a long season for the Lakers and a lot of easy points for a lot of other people.
Yeah, it's pretty much. I would say for the Warriors tonight, they did a lot of baiting and a lot of free throw to the free throw line. And the part that probably shocked me the most was the fact we're an older team who was outrunning them. That was a little surprise. That shouldn't be happening for sure. That can't happen. You can't let a team full of older guys be outrunning you. So that's one of the biggest things I saw too. And too many cuts, way too many cuts, too many times. Somebody's back is turned and then if Durant laying it up or getting an and one, it's one or the other end up happening. Too many of them. But I think what Gerald said the night before, he was right. I'm starting to see that depth part. See exactly what Gerald was saying when you're watching the depth. Okay, it looked like it was Luka, and that's pretty much it. Luka and
the lack of depth. Well, we talked about it, Legend, when you and I did the prediction show. Lack of depth really hurts teams over the course of the 82-game season, and your star players can only take you so far. Once Luka was out of the game or once the ball was not in Luka's hands, Legend, it seemed like the Lakers really were at a loss on how to create points in the offense, Legend.
And that's something JJ gonna have to figure out how to get the best out of the rest of them because you can't have Luka doing everything. You just can't. It's not gonna work. You're not gonna win many games doing it that way. You need Austin Reeves to play like somebody who won $100+ million. You want to start playing like it. That's what you're aiming for. Because what he did tonight, that ain't gonna cut it. That's just not gonna cut it. You need more from Aiden. You need more from everybody on the bench. You need more from Rui. You just need the rest of them to step up. Just step up. We're not asking you to go 20 points. Just every one of them can just do 10 points each, and that adds up a lot. Just give 10 at least and a good effort on defense. But you can't have Luka go out here and give you about a triple-double and give you a 40-piece triple-double and you just go, there's no competition. You can't do that. And I saw how Brown was looking too inside. Brown looked like he wasn't too happy.
Man, you saw that? Brown was just
very stoic.
Just sitting there like
shades.
He's cooking something on the side. So.
Cooking up a trade or cooking up something.
With the shades. Yep. It's like, okay, all right. If only well, I won't go into that one. But Hernan, I got you covered on
why would LeBron be looking like that? The reason why they're in this shithole is because of him. He's part of it. Him and Rob and his best friend JJ Redick. What do you mean look? Look at what? Go look in bring a mirror. I'll come bring a mirror if he wants to look. Here, this is who it is right here. This is one of the problems. JJ is one of the problems. Y'all needed talent, and then you went and drafted some guy that had no business being in the NBA. Whose fault is that? Who? Mike Brown? Frank Vogel? The one decent coach you guys had in the last 80 years, you treated him like shit. And that guy won you a title. I talked about this earlier today. I'm a parent, right? I have kids. They're going to school. I'm sitting here listening to these teachers and these parents, and I'm like, these parents are complete trash. They blame everything on school and the teachers and how they're not helping their kids. I'm like, stupid ass, why don't you start doing some shit for your own kids? How come my kids aren't having these problems? How come they're learning? Oh, that's why, because there's this entitled asshole over here that keeps yapping who has some money, has some pull, and it jacks up everything. I'm putting a comparison to all of our lives because we don't know what it is. Here's why I do that. And here's why I do that. Because I am fucking sick and tired of hearing about, oh, you don't know what the life of an athlete is. Okay, so I'm putting some comparisons in this so you see the difference. Most of us have families and kids, right? And you don't even need to go there. Maybe you're a single person who's deals with people at work who are entitled. Everybody has this issue, even family members, right? It's the same shit. It's just the sport. So LeBron looking left like he ain't the fucking problem is hilarious to me. Until that 52 million is off the books, this team can't do shit. And all these guys are yapping about, oh, we got to wait. We got to make sure we don't lose Austin Reeves. We don't lose Austin Reeves. For what? To pay him $40 million a year? To do what? What is Reeves? And this is not a slight to him. He is exhausted every ounce of talent out of that body. Congratulations, Austin. You did great. You've done great. But I'm talking about winning championships. I'm not sitting here worried about Austin Reeves getting his. Austin Reeves getting his means we're getting nothing. He cannot be the second highest paid player on this team. He cannot be the second best player on this team. How many times do we have to say it? How many times? It's one game. Watch. You're going to start hearing this after the show. It's just one game. It's just one game. What did you see in the third quarter today? The same shit we've been watching for 5 years. 5 seasons, sorry. Stop lying to yourselves. This team needs its entire colon cleansed. Like in the Nutty Professor. Remember, I'm thinking about getting my colon cleansed thoroughly. This colon needs to be cleansed thoroughly. By the way, Eddie Murphy became the GOAT after that movie for me. Old scene with the clumps.
Yeah.
I couldn't after that. It was like Christoph Waltz in the Inglourious Basterds. I walked out of the theater. I was like, this guy right here, there's no one. Martin could have been the same, maybe in the same realm, but Eddie Murphy's the GOAT. And anyways, so the thing is, we have 9 months. We as Laker fans, we have 9 months to try to enjoy this season as much as we can. Enjoy the Luka show because Luka makes it look easy, man.
Real shit.
He really does.
Real
And
shit.
Austin played his ass off. I liked the tenacity from Marcus Smart. When they were kind of reeling a little bit, he was playing Bulldog, Rottweiler things. And everybody's sitting there like, why is he doing this? Because that's the soft bitches that Laker fans have turned into, right? They're just, No, that's what we needed. We needed somebody to put some life into this team. When was the last time we had that? Rondo, when Rondo was there. So,
but Joe, you cannot keep him out there in the first half when he's got 3 fouls.
He's doing his best at this point.
Honestly, that's like what I was gonna say. I was gonna say is in a sense of like, you cannot control how the refs are gonna ref the game, but you as a coach and as a player, you can control how your player plays. So if you're like, look, like this game, you got 4 fouls at halftime. Damn, like that's unfortunate. But you know what? You were doing all the right stuff. You just got called for all those fouls. If we get it, if come Minnesota, the refs are hold that whistle a little bit more. Now they don't swallow it. You're still giving me that same great defensive intensity. You're just not getting as many fouls because it's all like, based on the refs. So like, honestly, if I'm JJ Redick, I'm like Marcus Smart. I know you got a lot of fouls on you today. Try to be careful with that, but don't give me any less energy. Like, continue to give me that defensive energy, especially because, to Joe's point, I think we really need it as well. Because one thing I know for sure is in basketball, like when you see someone on the court with you do something and you're like, damn, like that shit, I need to do that too. I need to step my game up. So that's where I'm at with that. But go ahead, Legend. I know you were gonna say something.
Nah, so I agree the same thing. You just don't know what a ref is gonna call. I mean, you just gonna have to play through it. Sometimes you got a good ref, sometimes you got a crappy ref. It just happens. But like Joe said, I ain't gonna lie. I would have let Austin Reed walk in and just trade him and be done. I'm never gonna trade him. I'm not gonna pay him that much. Heck no. He cannot be your second highest paid player, and he don't need to be your second best player. That ain't the move. That just ain't. You want to get paid, go to Utah, so you can shoot all you want, make all you want. Yeah.
Robert Wheeler put in there, John Joe. Here we go. Did you all expect the Lakers to beat Golden State without LeBron?
Yes.
I didn't think the Lakers would win because the Warriors, I feel, are the second best in the West, only behind.
Wow, second
No,
best in
no,
the
no,
West.
I don't.
I almost spit what I'm drinking now.
God,
No.
damn.
Look,
I'll say this: I don't feel that way, with all
Wow.
due respect to Legend. But Kevin Pelton from ESPN, who's digs deep into the nerddom as far as the numbers are concerned, and the numbers spit out that the Warriors, with their current roster, may actually get out of the West in his estimation, according to numbers. So you're not the only one that feels like that. But Robert, yes, we felt that the Lakers needed to start winning, and they just start winning now without LeBron, because we're not here to wait for LeBron. We're here to win games. And so, Joe and John, the question was fielded to you by Robert Wheeler.
Joe, do you want to go, Joe, or do you want me to go?
this game was competitive until the dreaded third quarter Laker shit stain that they seem to always lather themselves with. And at some point, you're either capable of changing or you're not. And changing means changing the ingredients. If you're going to keep putting the same shitty spices in the food, thinking, oh, well, maybe if I let this cook a little bit longer, maybe it'll taste better. That doesn't work. You could put the best chef on the planet. If you give him shitty food to cook with, he's not going to be able to make good food. It's a combination of both. You got to have both. Sometimes talent, the food tasting good, the food being good, can be somewhat tasteful, if you will, with a marginal chef or marginal cook. And what the Lakers have is they have a NBA first team, top 3 MVP as of right now on the team. So that's the good food. LeBron is desperately needed on this team because there isn't anyone else really that could be that guy. And when you watched, I'm going to use San Antonio as an example. When you watch San Antonio play back in the day, and Duncan would sit, and Leonard would sit, and Manu would sit, and Tony Parker would sit. You know what I noticed about those teams? I noticed that they still ran the system. They still were productive. They may have not won like they would with those guys regularly, but they did in spurts. They did when they couldn't use those guys for a 3 or 4 game stretch. They ended up winning 3 out of 4 with guys that are not at full capacity. Until this team gets to that point, you're just not gonna be what you need to be when you're at full strength either. You don't have anything to fall back on when things are not working. DeAndre Ayton, I think he's going to be the whooping boy this year. Sorry, Gerald. That's the only word I can think of. He is expected to be this all-star center, and I'm trying to get my brain around the fact that in the NBA, when a guy is let go for nothing, that's not an accident. That especially at 26, that's a problem usually. If he can get through it and become productive and useful, great. But guys at 26 are not supposed to just be picked up for free, generally. That's not a good sign at the beginning of things. Marcus Smart has a little bit more room in that there was maybe an issue of a debilitating injury, a chronic injury. Also, the fact that he probably asked Washington to let him go. That probably played a part too, which happens in sports. Sometimes they're just like, look, Can you do me a favor and just let me go? I want to go play I want to compete. And sometimes teams will oblige. So the identity of this team is still unknown, other than it's going to be Luka playing 30, 10, and 9. It's exactly those numbers happened tonight, by the way. He's a 30, 10, and 9 player all year. That's penciled in. And then you'll have Rui doing what Rui does. He'll make you want to jump for joy for about 10 minutes in the game during the game, and then you'll wonder what the hell was going on in the fourth quarter when you couldn't guard Draymond Green. Guys, Draymond Green is known as the triple single right now in his career. That's where he is. The fact that you're letting this guy do what he's doing is an embarrassment, especially with you guys being in your mid-20s and you're not able to handle this. That's unacceptable. And then LaRavia looked like the game was too big. You didn't get a chance to see Connect in there, really. Gabe didn't bring what he brought from preseason. I thought maybe he would have been making some shots. Maybe he had a little bit of momentum from that. That didn't happen. You had Reeves doing what he did, Rui doing what he did, DeAndre Ayton coming up lame. You had Jackson Hayes doing what he does usually, which is hustle and make a couple of good dunks at the rim. But that's it with him. And then, last but not least, Jared Vanderbilt. The Kwame Brown is he a small forward, a power? What is he?
He's like a small forward.
Okay, he's the Kwame Brown. Yeah. He's the Kwame Brown. At least Kwame Brown
knew he sucked ass. Jared Vanderbilt all summer was
at least Kwame Brown. When you, at that time, ball was more position based. It was more still going down low to start the offense and let the guy in the block dictate what to do next. When you had that, Kwame Brown was consistent in one area, which was stabilizing. He was good at stabilizing and keeping that guy having to work for what he needed to get. That was the one good part about Kwame Brown's game, was he was a good defender as a one-on-one defender, especially as a center, because he had that base and he was big and really, really strong below the waist. So I'm trying to figure out what if I'm a general manager, I'm calling JJ Redick in and going tomorrow morning. I'm going, you see this part over here in the second half? It was a critical part where the Lakers were kind of sort of not really doing anything to show that they were going to win this game, but there was still a little bit of an opening. And then in back-to-back plays, Jared Vanderbilt goes to the basket to try to make a floater. Was that a floater even? Oh,
a half pass, half float.
Half pass, which is basically what we've been saying about Jared, is he's a scared puppy. A 6'8" Inspector Gadget length arms and legs, yet he's scared to make a basket. God help us all, right? And that was bad enough. Then the next play, he's shooting a 3 from the corner. And I'm trying to register this. How does that happen? How do you allow that to happen as a coach in that moment? It's mine. What did Chad Michael say in Blades of Glory? It's mind-boggling.
Mind-boggling?
No, bottling.
Oh, bottling.
Yeah, because it's bottled into your mind.
There is a super chat for you. I wanted to go ahead and mention to you, Joe, and then actually I got a question for you as well, John. Joe, when you don't feed the big man from Nick T, thank you for the super chat. They will get lazy. LA running your turn, my turn offense with AR Luka, and don't get me started with the 3-guard.
So here's the other part. Thank you, Nick T, for bringing that up. This is something I actually had forgotten about because it happened early in the game, and I was like, why are you giving DeAndre Ayton the ball at the freaking elbow and then waiting there with your You with your schlong in your hand. No one moving to the basket. No one. Everyone's sitting there. That's not his game. He's not Jokic, where he can turn around and make a floater at the elbow anytime he wants, or pass to the guy in the corner when they collapse on him and double team. I'm just a guy in his office at 10:30 Pacific Standard Time, right? I'm just that guy. Yet I'm sitting here trying to figure out what the fuck are you not? Oh, and it wasn't the only time. It happened again, I think 2 series later. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you giving DeAndre Ayton the ball on the elbow? That's not his game. You're setting him up to fail, and then you're going to fail. This is game 1. What were you doing during your not giving a shit preseason game? What did you do in training camp? Because I can't watch backstage Lakers anymore. I watched it the other day, an older one. The amount of regurgitated, cliched garbage that these guys do, I can't do it anymore. I can't listen to it. You get no information from any of these assholes, and everything's fake. Anyways, so what are you doing in training camp? Playing Bronny. That's what you did. Every time I saw anything of relevance in preseason, you were playing player 11 and 12 half the fucking game. When are you going to – why don't you let these guys – what's the point of preseason then? Might as well not have it. Oh, we'll work our way into it. Well, you're going to work your way into being 0-2 by Friday. No, just it's exhausting to be this way all the time. Now, I can handle it. I'm wired for it, but it drains the people around you. And I don't like doing that either. I have a heart for people around me, whether it's on the show, whether it's people around me here that are sports people. People want positivity. They want to get excited about things. I'm like, what am I going to get excited about? You know what I'm going to get excited about? The Dodgers. Whooping ass. That's what I get excited about. I want to see greatness when greatness is supposed to be there. And if greatness isn't the task, then what the fuck are you doing?
Gerald.
What are you here for?
I can see my conversation
doing a radio show?
with the radio station.
Yeah, he's trying to do the radio.
Why did you tell me you were doing the radio thing?
I sent you an email last night.
Your emails?
Oh, man.
Send me an email. What is this, 1999?
I sent you an email. I sent
I
the radio station.
I deleted 2,189 emails yesterday from my Yahoo account.
Man. Read the damn email.
I don't have time to read emails. Send me a text.
On it during playback.
Send me a text.
That is true, Joe. You complimented him on it.
You did.
No, I'm talking about no. I complimented you on what you in your description of the people on the show. I didn't read anything after that.
That was the email.
Yeah, I didn't read it. After that, I didn't read it.
You're hilarious. Block. Nobody wants you here, Block. You can just go
Anyways, when I get to if I ever get to see a radio station manager and they're serious about picking, the first is that Joe guy? Is that Joe guy gonna keep it clean? We got the 7-second delay, man. But if he's
no, it's okay.
That's what I'm gonna.
We'll do it again. We'll do it again next time. This time I know.
It's okay. He's good. He can rant.
Try to do it when we win a game so that we're not on fire.
No, it's okay. I'll just tell them he can rant.
No. I can hold the curse words.
He can bring down your station, and he can do it without cursing.
Look, man. I'm going to be real with you here. Okay, look, I don't. I want to help you. I really do.
It's all good.
But there isn't a radio producer or a manager at a radio station in anywhere around this planet that's going to be able to handle me. They will not deal with me. I'm very difficult to deal with.
Oh, you
it's
think?
Just the way it is. Because most people that I converse with are stupid that are in high positions. It is what it is. They're not very efficient. They're lazy. They're stupid. They have problems that I don't give a fuck about. It's like, dude, I'm here to work. Are you here to work? Or are you here about feelings? And I've had this problem before it became an in thing. This wasn't the last 5-10 years. I've had this issue 20, 25 years ago. That's why I didn't get in the radio the first time, because I knew I was going to have to deal with some radio producer that I would have probably ended up throwing out a fucking window.
No Joker says, Joe admitted Braun is the GOAT. Good night.
Block, the reason why is because you're not worthy of me calling you the correct name, so I'm calling you exactly what I want to call you, and it's Block, and it's
before we head on out, by the way, I know you're going to head on out, my friend. Please go ahead and give a cheap plug, because that's what we like to do here in the middle of Joe's rants that use a lot of naughty language.
Yes, please. Everybody, please do check out my page. I got a Lakers Corner page. I do 3-minute game recaps. It's actually what I'm about to go record and edit right now. I do a weekly show, which I'm going to be doing a weekly show here on this Friday. So I'll be able to drop that. And yeah, I mean, hey guys, you can always check me out. All my Lakers content. YouTube is Lakers Corner. Instagram, I'm almost at 7,000 followers. So help me get there. It's Lakers_Corner_. TikTok, Lakers Corner 24, and Twitter is the Lakers Corner. But anyway, I appreciate all you guys letting me be here. Joe, Legend, Gerald, great to see you boys, and I will see you boys on Friday. Check out my channel. Appreciate everybody. See ya,
my friend. All the best.
All right, John.
And congratulations again on being a now soon to be married man, because she said yes. So that'd be great indeed. I hope we're invited to the wedding. That'd be terrible if he dissed us on that as well. No.
Should ask him for some advice. I gotta do the same thing.
There you go. Nice. I'll get him in touch with you, Legend. I'll get him in touch with you. I'll just say this. I hope he doesn't diss us on the wedding like he dissed me when I was there in San Francisco. We're looking for him. So that's all I'll say. We'll leave it at that. But Nibel had a question from way back when, before Joe's rant started. And I wanted to go ahead and ask you on this. I wanted to ask John too as well, but where do you put the blame pie when you see this organization come out this season like they did, and you are not in that Lakers fan bubble, which actually provides a pretty astute way of seeing things when you can see it, just like you would ask me about the Golden State Warriors, how as a non-Golden State Warriors fan perceive their situation, or the Atlanta Hawks. Where do you, if you're cutting up a blame pie, how do you cut it right now as far as how the Lakers, what you saw tonight from a coaching standpoint, general manager, organization, roster, player, where do you put the blame pie? How do you cut up those slices?
I'm going to start off with exactly what Joe said a little while ago. It starts off with LeBron first to me. The fact that you have a roster spot taken up by someone who shouldn't really be in the NBA right now. That spot could have went to somebody who really could actually help you. Then you got his $50 million just sitting there and taking up a lot of money right now. Then now I'll go out to the others on the team and just not stepping up. And Austin Reed just got to get better. You gotta step up and give at least a little bit of something, be a third option at least, or a 6-man role, which I really think would be best at. And then I'll go from the role players to I gotta look at the front office. You put the team together. That's on you. You knew what you needed. You went out there and you didn't go all in. So, I mean, it's just kind of what you asked for at that point. So I would start off with Bron first. Then I go towards the role players, and then I go towards Rob and Jenny. I won't really get too much on JJ because this is his second year. So I'm not really going to go too heavy on him. But we're going to see what he made of going in the year two. See how he learned a little bit from the first year and learn from what he did in the playoff and see how much he has grown and learned over the summer. But I think that's where it started off on. Braun, that front office, I think it's more so with them. But to me, LeBron got to take the most stuff. You got your son taking a roster spot that could have went to somebody right now. I mean, there's stuff like that you just think about, but what could have been happening if you'd done something differently.
I know that you just answered Hernan's question. Is there a timetable on the Guggenheim so when they take over? No, there's no official word as of yet. Of course, the league has to ratify it. The owners have to come together. They were just together in, I believe, September. And I don't know why they couldn't do it then. but they took care of the Boston Celtics, and I know that they had already come to an agreement quite a bit earlier. So I don't understand why they couldn't take care of the Lakers at the same time as well. But we will have to wait to see when that magical day comes. And Joe, I will say it will not come too soon because this organization comes out this season, and it really looks like there's a lot of issues. And I feel like Luka is standing next to the dam. You know the old parable, Joe, where he looks like he's trying to plug in the dikes. He's trying to put the finger to plug those holes in the dam as it's starting to leak. And he doesn't have enough fingers and toes to plug all those holes because there's so many holes that the Lakers organization has from top to bottom right now.
I'm gonna say that there's been discussion behind the scenes where there's an understanding that there's going to be a small little lull here this year just because of circumstances. It's not anything that Luka wanted. He thought he was going to be in Dallas for at least the majority, if not all of his career, the part of his career that mattered. That changed. And he's probably in that mode still. Well, I'm still trying to transition into this new lifestyle and this new way of starting my career in a different path. Now, there are worse places to be as a superstar than the Lakers, right? I mean, I don't think there's a better place for a basketball player to be in his prime and be as good as he is than the LA Lakers. It's like being a Yankee. It's like being playing for Real Madrid, playing for Manchester United. These are the pillars of their sports and their leagues. He has to just wait until this season's over. Then, by the end of this year, the Guggenheims will have eventually taken over. Contracts will be done. And now you can really start figuring out what you are going to put together to help Luka become, in my view, a 3 to 4 time MVP before it's all said and done. There's no reason why he shouldn't be sitting on 3 or 4 MVPs when he's during his career, at the end of his career, like Jokic. And that's 100% how this has to be looked at, and it will. The Guggenheims and Mark Walter are 4 wins away from, in my view, having the greatest Dodger era ever. Mind you, this team has been around for 141 years. This team had Duke Snyder. They had Sandy Koufax. They had Oral Hershiser. They had Kirk Gibson. They've had Mike Piazza. This is a legendary franchise. Only, in my view, you can argue St. Louis is in there as well, but really it's second to the Yankees. The Yankees are number 1. They're going to be number 1 for a very long time. But by the end of this century, there's a big chance that the Dodgers may be the Yankees of the 21st century, like the Yankees were the number 1 team in the 20th century. And that has a very good shot at happening if this particular team continues to have the leadership they have. So that's the part that kind of sets me in a little bit more of at ease, because they do have a budding superstar that's just hitting his prime. They have the most capable ownership, in my view, in sports coming. And now they just got to take out the trash. They got to take out the trash. And I'm not saying LeBron James is trash. His ability to engulf everything around him is the trash I want gone. And I need Laker fans to wake the hell up about Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, and guys like that. I'm very proud of Rui, and I'm very proud of Austin Reeves for what they've done in their careers. They deserve every dollar they end up making. I promise. If somebody wants to give them $40 million, I'll pat them on the back. Hey, man, you guys killed it. Congratulations. It can't be in LA. It can't. This team needs a superstar next to Luka, and then you build according to those two. Now, if you can get 4 or 5 guys like Oklahoma City, sure. There's a problem there, though. Oklahoma City has 80,000 draft picks. That's why they were able to do that. The Lakers don't have that luxury. So Lakers have to go get those guys. Who? I don't know. It's going to depend on a little bit of them wanting to come to LA. And they will come because they always do. They always do. They always end up in LA at some point when they really want to come to LA, especially when LA has room. So do what you can here in the next 9 months. Have the parties, have the hellos and goodbyes. Get it over with, clear that cap space, and let's build the next Laker dynasty with your main pillar being Luka Doncic, which I don't see anyone other than Luka and maybe Jokic, in my view, that are perfect candidates for that.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is the legend, along with Joe Soro and me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching this thing. Please like and subscribe if you want to become a member today and get the pre-recorded videos that I put out, like I did for my entire list of NBA team previews. You get that early. Go ahead and become a member today for just $2.99 a month. The Lakers lose 119-109. Legend, I want to bring it back to you. There were times where Golden State looked like they had things put away in that second half, but allowed the Lakers to get back to the point where I think they cut it down to as close to 5 or 6.
Not 5
if
or
I'm
6.
not, yeah. What some of the things that may be of concern to you moving forward that you saw? Obviously, the good. If they're lighting it up like they did from behind the arc, Buddy Hield obviously did a great job coming off the bench for them, and the fact that again, 24 of 24 from the free throw line for Stephen Curry and Butler. Obviously, that's outstanding, to say the least. Do you see some signs of concern going forward? Because again, there are some people out there in our chat and then also as well experts that are thinking that Golden State might actually be on the verge of having a really good season.
My only concern from that little brief moment was just the fact that we're on a dry spell a little bit, and then you start having little defensive collapses here and there. That's my biggest concern. And I also want to see, as time goes on, how do they look when you can't get to the free throw line that often? Because you're not going to always get to the free throw line, so you can't always bank on it. You just bank on the referees to hope they're going to bail you out and stuff. So I kind of want to see this offense tonight, what it look like when you're not getting 24 free throws, what things look like them is a little bit tighter and a little more sweatier. But my only concern just from that brief little moment was just the fact that it's the dry spells. Because that kind of reminds me of what happened in that Minnesota series when Steph wasn't there. You had no offense to go, nowhere to look at. That's probably my biggest concern, other than the age part, with this team. I see what everyone's talking about. I am beginning to see a little bit what they see, but it's those two things that just can't ignore. The age part and the fact that sometimes I don't know what I might get from pausing. I don't know. Will Jonathan Kuminga still continue to put up the numbers, or is he going to get put in the doghouse or something? I don't know. So just stuff like that make me a little concerned about this team. But we're going to see. Like I said, it's just game one. I can't take a lot from it just yet, but I might can take a lot from this one and tomorrow night, being 2 back-to-back tough games going against Denver tomorrow. So we're going to see how that looks and see what I can take out of that one.
Joe, James Hex is in the chat, said JJ is the wrong coach for the Lakers. He needs to go. There was zero ball movement on the offense. I know that Magic Man, during the course of our playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break live showing of the game. And thank you for everyone who is on. I'm going to give it a try again with the simulcast. I'm going to go see how far it can go before I get no worries, my friend. Legend. I got Next Sports Media. Anything coming up before I go ahead and send you on out, my friend?
I'm probably going to do like a quick little live stream tomorrow before the Warriors play, just to talk about how they did tonight and then talk about what they getting ready to face tomorrow going against Denver, and probably what I'm going to mostly do when I get off work tomorrow was.
Sounds good, my friend. Once again, it is Legend from I Got Next Sports Media. He's on the East Coast, so my friend, it is late for you. Truly appreciate you staying on late with us. And remember, you're always welcome right here at the Lakers Fast Break.
I appreciate it, fellas. Y'all have a good rest of the show.
You too as well, my friend. So, Joe, I want to get it back to you. JJ, according to James Hex, and I can't say I disagree with him. Obviously, the ball did not move around as well as I would have liked to have seen. I know that Magic Man, during the course of our playback, he mentioned how the pace was something that he was very unhappy with. The Lakers not trying to find ways to up the pace. I know that that's been an issue with Luka, even with Dallas, is where he likes to take it at his own pace. Let me ask you this: a lot of that could be instruction from JJ. It may not be, but at what point do you start looking at this coach and saying, "Hey, maybe something is not matching up as well as we would like when it concerns JJ"? Comments or otherwise that he seems to continually make that gets him in hot water.
There's a really good line in Roadhouse, the real one in '89, not the monstrosity that Jake Gyllenhaal did a few years back.
There's actually a thought that they might be doing a sequel. That's scary. Sorry.
Okay.
I had to tell you that one.
Sequel to a shitty movie? That's weird. There's a scene where he cleans house, and Terry Funk, the character that Terry Funk plays, gets fired, and Dalton goes, "You don't have the right temperament for the trade." I mean, the lines in that movie were resonated so much. Imagine I'm 11 years old, and I didn't know my ear from my ass when I was 11, but those things resonated long enough to where when I did connect things as life and life experiences came together, I identified with those lines and those discussions. JJ Redick doesn't have the temperament for the job, and it started in June. I wasn't upset about his work last year. I wasn't. I wasn't even upset when he played the entire starting lineup the second half. Wasn't upset. When I heard him say Bronny James rotational player, that's when the wall fell. I'm like, what? Did I really hear that? I rewounded it and I heard it again. I rewounded it. I heard it again. I'm like, you're not coaching this team. You're massaging it for something. And if a coach isn't going to coach, if he's not going to demand the respect of the game, not the player, then you're useless. So JJ Redick is slowly going the wrong way. And soon it's going to be very fast. And then I don't know what coach out there is going to reinvigorate this thing. I have no idea. I don't even know if NBA coaches are really allowed to coach anymore. Very similar to baseball in a lot of ways. Are they really coaching? Does Eric Spoelstra really coach the Heat? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what a great coach is anymore. I don't think they're allowed to exist anymore. But we know when they're bad. He didn't implement one thing this offseason. I didn't see anything change in game one. And I don't know if I'm getting ahead of this. I don't know. Are they going to be better in 20 games? Are they going to use the excuse that LeBron's not there? Because that's what they're going to do. It's a society of excuses, more so than ever before. They didn't lose this game tonight because LeBron didn't play. And the Golden State Warriors, with all due respect to Legend, I would have said this. I didn't know he was going to leave. I was going to go in on the Warriors. Warriors are not that good of a team. Kuminga is not a consistent player. Jimmy Butler is not going to play like that for an 82-game season. We all know this. He's going to not play at least 20 games this year. And Steph Curry has hit a wall. He is declining. He is declining. So who else? Buddy Hield's going to hit threes all year? Probably not. Gary Payton Jr., he'll have a couple blocks here and there, and that's it. The Lakers made the Warriors look very, very, very good tonight. And they still almost came back and won the game. But it's made with fake comebacks, shitty third quarters, bad fundamentals, missed free throws. Where have we heard this before and where have we seen this before? We've been watching this for 5 NBA seasons straight. We've seen these issues. So what are you going to tell us next? We have to change the drapes in Jeannie's office. What is it? I don't know. I'm seeing what I'm seeing, and I'm seeing the same shit again out of the gate. All that summer, all that shit that you had all that time to maybe put something there that gave us a little bit of hope. Hey, man, I really like how they were running this pick and roll over here. I really like how they went. We said this already. We needed this team to run. You have young. The advantage you have with this team is they're young. LeBron is not in there. LeBron can't run back and forth anymore. It's over on that, right? You have young guys now. Run the break. Get some easy baskets for DeAndre Ayton. Who was it on the chat that said when you don't feed the big man, he gets lazy? Very true. That never, ever goes away, by the way. That never, ever is not true, even in a league where the big man is not as important. Feed DeAndre Ayton on some fast breaks, and he'll go back and play defense. Oh, maybe if he's a half a foot away from the rim, maybe you can, Luka's capable of doing this, right? He's talented enough. Get on the break and see if Jared can dunk the ball when he has a nice clear path that's a half a foot away from the rim. Is that too much to ask, Gerald?
Nope, not at all.
Leak out. Maybe LaRavia on the corner on a fast break. Maybe Gabe Vincent on a fast break. I don't know. I'm pulling at straws here. But this team needed to run tonight, not sit and do their half-court bullshit like every other damn year, like the Byron Scott offense. I mean, JJ Redick is coaching like
fast break points.
Byron Scott is JJ Redick is coaching like Byron Scott. There's nothing there. There's no substance. The only reason why Byron Scott became what he became, and I like Byron. Again, he's a Laker. He's a Laker legend. Great. But Jason Kidd was the coach when he was in New Jersey. He was really the coach.
Also got a weird YouTube channel name. Byron Scott's Fast Break. Okay. Wonder where they got that from. I'll leave it at that. Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break.
Everybody has a podcast now.
Yeah. Well, he's been doing it now for a little while, but I got the Fast Break first, but I'll leave it at that. But Trayvon, a little bit of rapid fire, my friend. Trayvon's asking you, Joe, worst loss, Lakers or Steelers last week?
Well, they both have something in common. They both lost in similar fashions in that the Steelers have a habit of losing the Thursday night game on the road. And then the Lakers continue to suck ass in the third quarters of every game.
Okay.
Worst loss, the Steelers and the Lakers have a similar issue. And it's leadership at the head coaching position.
RD23 says, Senior Sorrel, do you think Braun's master plan is to get Bryce drafted as well? Then
I don't give a shit about LeBron and his sons. Fuck his sons and him with all that shit. I'm fucking done with it. I can't do it anymore. I don't give a fuck about those guys. I don't care. I want LeBron and all that shit gone in 9 months. I've had it. They're in this shithole because of shit like that, by the way.
Alfred
an
Esmond,
absolute
shout out.
it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. They turned this into a high school setup where the booster father made the coach and made the team pick his son. It's just disgusting to me.
Big shout out to Alfred Esmond at Alfred Esmond on Twitter. Really, truly appreciate his insight into Orlando Magic, who are looking to really do some good things this year. So, best of luck to the Orlando Magic, and best of luck, continued success to you, Alfred, especially in all your journalistic endeavors. And you know you're always welcome back here on the Lakers Fast Break as well, my friend. Nibel says, Gerald, did I watch OKC versus Houston? Yes, it was an amazing game. I do want to put the pretext that Williams was out of the lineup tonight for OKC, but and Houston had Van Vliet out. But I will tell you this right now. Laugh anyone out there, laugh all you want at Amen Thompson right now for the fact he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn on his threes. But that day will come where he will be a superstar. Everything else tonight, he looked really, really amazing. And that he looks like a guy that's ready to take that next leap. He wanted that spotlight. He tried very hard, couldn't execute well enough down the stretch in the regulation, but he is learning and adapting. He was not supposed to be their point guard. Then all of a sudden, due to what happened with Van Vliet, he is now their point guard. So laugh all you want out there if you want to laugh at Amen Thompson and the Houston Rockets. But I think by the end of the season, Amen Thompson's going to be really something special indeed. And if he can get anywhere near to an average three-point shooter, that's going to open up his game even more. And he is one of the best defenders in the league. Just a sensational two-way player on the rise. And I think he is going to be a special player indeed. That's what I'll leave at that. But again, OKC getting it done at home, but needing 2 overtimes. But they did have Williams out of the game. You saw that game with us from time to time on playback. What were your thoughts on both OKC and Houston?
It was a great game in that you saw the youth and the skills of two teams, and then you had the wily veteran in Durant, who still has something left. It was a really good NBA basketball game.
Yes, it was. It was really good one. Yeah, absolutely. Double overtime. They take the win by 1 point. But some of your observations on the players, do you agree on Amen Thompson? I mean, you had remarked.
Amen is going to be a two-way player in the league. He'll eventually develop a shot because he has to, and he has the talent to do so. And if he can become a bona fide two-way player, he's going to be a perennial all-star because he has the talent. He does have it. It's going to come down to, does he want it? And that's always a hit and miss these days. I don't know. I thought Chet Holmgren did really well tonight.
Yeah.
I saw a change, and he had discussed it in the post-game show about how last year was a frustrating year for him because of injuries, and sounded like he had issues too beyond that from just his demeanor during the interview. But it came out in the end positive because his team won the championship, and I'm looking forward to seeing, because I was kind of down on him a little bit, and I get down on guys that are not healthy. I'll get impatient with guys that are not healthy. Like, dude, come on, enough of this. When are you going to get your shit together to where you're playing? I mean, it's not like you're 400 pounds, like you're this lanky basketball player. You should be jumping around and like a gazelle and being available. But anyways, I think Chet had missed a shot or a free throw the first half, right?
Uh-huh.
So Chet stays healthy, he is going to be the second star on that team. He's going there, and if that happens, it's Oklahoma City has a very good chance at running.
Williams is a really good player, though. Let's not.
And they have a wild card in their pocket too. If they come up lame at the end of the year, let's say they lose in the finals. Let's just say they lose in the finals. They can pull the trigger on something because they have enough assets to do it and enough talent on that team. So they're going to be around for a while, especially if Presti stays there. That's what it's going to come down to. Will Presti stay there? If Presti stays there, if he's happy with his $4.5 million a year, instead of getting coaxed into something else, maybe by the Guggenheims.
That's where I'd go to first. Just saying.
When the Guggenheims bought the Dodgers, it wasn't long enough. And Ned Colletti, who was the GM of the Dodgers, Ned was no slouch. It's not Rob Pelinka. Like Colletti he drafted Will Smith. He got Clayton Kershaw. He was a damn good GM. Nope. 2 years later, that little guy in Tampa, Guggenheim's like, we want him. We love Ned, but we want him. So, yeah. I think that's part of why maybe my optimism on the next phase of things is lingering here. My rant tonight is more geared towards same old type stuff, not so much dread. And I see some possibilities of maybe a little bit of a mirror from what we've already seen in a different sport. Because the Dodgers are 4 wins away from really having one of the more epic runs here, especially in baseball. You're talking about a team, not counting the COVID year because it was only 60 games, but this team, since the Guggenheims have owned it, have averaged 103 wins, minus that year, obviously, because they didn't play 162. They've averaged 103 wins. That includes playoff wins as well. And if they win the next 4, they'll have won 3 championships in those years. And then, of course, 2 of those championships that they lost were they were cheated. They were cheated by the Houston Astros and the Red Sox. So 5 pennants, 2 more titles that should have been in their pocket, but they end up winning 3, let's say, if they win this year. And there's more coming, too. That's the beauty of this. We're talking about Shohei Ohtani era dynasty. You could even say the Shohei dynasty is just getting started. If they win it this year, Shohei will have been a Dodger for 2 years and will have won 2 MVPs and 2 titles. So what the hell's going to happen in the next 8 years? It's like getting Joe Montana in 1979. They start winning Super Bowls in San Francisco with him. Magic. Started winning championship with Magic pretty much right out the gate. Same thing with Larry Bird. It's good times. Good times to be. I think in the end, I think it's a good time to be a Laker and Dodger fan here. We just have to get through this year for the Lakers fandom. Get through this year and get the right leadership in there, and hopefully they clean house and bring in the right guys. And that's what the right guys are in terms of a coach. I don't know. I'm looking at the list of coaches in the NBA. I don't know who's really a great coach. I don't know. I really don't.
Alfred Esmond, obviously a great part of the show. Whenever you can stop on by, sent you a super chat. Truly, thank you so much for the super chat. All the super chats tonight. Truly appreciate it. Alfred Esmond said, Joe, your thoughts on the Magic for this year?
Well, I like their acquisition. They're trying to win. I like Bane going there. They needed a scoring punch so that Paolo wasn't the only one. And Wagner is, I think, a better 3 than a 2. So you're going to have Paolo, you're going to have Bane as the 2, and then you're going to have Wagner as the 3. I think that's a good start. And then you're going to need that kind of getting over the threshold of being a team that's not known as a team that's consistently a winner. Can they be the Oklahoma City Thunder now? Can they get through? It should be a little bit easier in the East, especially this year. They're not going to have to deal with Tatum. They're going to have to deal with Halliburton, right? If there was a spot, there was a time to get through that, it's this season. But Paolo's going to have to be an MVP type, I think, in the end. So, Alfred, your boy has to be a top 5 player, I feel, if they are to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm not going to put the pressure of getting to the finals yet. Still need to see the team play. But Paolo's going to have to be, I think, a top 5 MVP candidate for them to get over the above mediocre area of the Orlando Magic.
Okay. But for truly,
because that was the problem, right? And again, they did a really good job filling in a gap that they had, which was they didn't have a scorer. Desmond Bane is a scorer and he can shoot. Great pickup without losing the meat of their top heavy team, right? And they really sacrifice a lot of even the role type guys, really. What about going against Anthony? I'm foaming at the mouth. I want George Springer to die. Him, Altuve, Bregman, every one of those dirty pieces of shit, I want to fucking rot in hell. Especially George Springer and Altuve and Bregman, especially those 3 fucks. Gary Hill is part of that too. Boy, we went south on that one, didn't we?
Yes, we did indeed. Hernan says,
Alfred, I skewed out of the Orlando thing, but hopefully I threw enough information there to say Orlando has an opening here. But
yes.
Paolo's going to have to be an MVP type player for them to get to the Eastern Conference Finals.
And Franz has to shoot better. If Franz can shoot consistently,
I think Franz, Franz as a third guy, I think is the pressure is going to be a little bit better for him, a little bit easier for him to get maybe better shots because Desmond Bane can
being
shoot.
There makes it a little bit easier.
He does. Franz is a third guy on that team, and I think it's better for him. I always call it the Lamar Odom thing, right? Lamar was never going to be a 2. No matter how much you screamed and yelled, Lamar Odom was never going to be a 2 on any team, but he was a really good 3.
Hernan, again, do you remember, question from Hernan, do you remember the Lakers with Magic in the 80s? Yes, I do remember. I started watching in 77 when I was 8, to give you an idea about the Lakers. I don't remember going to the casino. I couldn't go to the casino because I was a teenager in the 80s, but we did come up once a year. We used to stay at the Hacienda to give people some nostalgic, as far as nostalgia back for Las Vegas back then. But yes, we usually came up, stayed at the Hacienda. My dad would go and gamble a little bit. My mom and my sister, we would go out and do some things around the town and whatnot. But yeah, did not catch a Frank Sinatra performance because I was a little bit too young. But I did come up here to move here in '95, well after Frank Sinatra, and but the legacy still lives on.
Fly me to the moon.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
RD23 says Glassford and Sorrell, you just became the Lakers head coach. Hopefully not one and the same, but I get your drift. What would you like to develop as the identity for the Lakers, Joe? If you became coach, if they kicked JJ to the curb and Joe Sorrell was the coach, what would you do first?
Run and gun, baby. Be a track meet. Because you can always lean on the half court. That's great. But when you have young guns, when you have guys that don't think very well in a stationary area, you got to then take advantage of the fact that they're maybe athletic enough to put them in a position where I'm talking about the Jared Vanderbilts put them in a position where they don't have enough time to think. So if you're running and gunning and you're getting these guys the ball, and Luka has that ability, guys. Luka is a freak. Put him there. Let the horses go. Get easy baskets. Imagine if you got 15 to 20 points a game off that. Just watch 2020. They did that in 2020. And you were toast. You were toast. LeBron running the point, going downhill with control. It was you couldn't stop him. Couldn't stop him. And you can do that with these guys. You can take advantage of the fact that they are athletic. Jared Vanderbilt is an athletic player. He's just not up above the neck. It's just not working. He's too scared. So minimize the thinking process. Get him the ball when he's running, and get it to him when he's half a foot away from the basket. Run and gun. That's the first thing I do. Yes, absolutely, Alfred. Jerry Tarkanian run and gun, baby, at UNLV. One of the more entertaining teams I've ever seen in my life. One of the more identifiable college teams ever assembled in any sport.
They were so popular, Joe, that they were played locally in the Los Angeles market, and Chick Hearn was calling their games on KCAL Channel 9 or KHJ Channel 9 at that time, to let you know. That's how popular UNLV, the Running Rebs, were at that point in time.
It was a great time. It was a great time to grow up in the 90s, especially as a sports fan. And this is at a time when my team sucked ass too, by the way. But you had the Fab Five, you had the Running Rebels, you had Michael Jordan, you had...
I loved Loyola Marymount with Paul Westhead. Loved that team.
I got a chance to see Jerry Rice at his peak. I saw Barry Sanders at his peak. The 90s, Sports Center, ESPN. I feel so bad for the current sports fan. Guys, Sports Center and ESPN with Dan Patrick, Keith Olbermann before his brain turned into shit, Stu Scott, Linda Cohn. That whole, imagine having every anchor of a show be a Hall of Famer. Kenny Mayne, all of them. And then on top of that, they had the greatest commercials to boot. Charlie Steiner. 90s and sports, in my view, I had a chance to see Bo Jackson too, the early 90s. Sports in the 90s, I could say, was the greatest era for all sports in every fashion. TV, the actual sport, the athlete, the marketing, the commercials, all of it. 90s, best. Running Rebels, Fab Five, even the Duke teams. It just, you had so much quality in so many areas. The 90s had the greatest female tennis players. Female tennis players in the 90s was a dynasty. No one hardly watched the males play in the 90s. It was all the women, in my view. You still had Martina Navratilova still doing things in the early 90s. You had Monica Seles. You had Steffi Graf. You had even the Conchita Martinez's, where even though she was kind of like, I always called her the Alex English of that era. Like, Alex English was a freak in the 80s, right? But you didn't really hear much about him because of Magic Bird, Dr. J, and all those guys, right? The 90s were... I don't think anything can beat the 90s when you put all of that together in terms of quality. So much quality in the 90s in terms of sports and the way it was played and the way it was marketed and the way it was executed.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is Joe Soro along with me, Joe Glassford. Thanks again for watching and listening. Don't forget, on Friday, playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break, and we'll be able to bring you the game if you're one of the 20 VIPs that are there. Plus, we'll have the simulcast as far as our beautiful chat available on YouTube as well. And then, of course, the world famous post game right after. I do want to make mention again that, and Joe wasn't here for it. Joe needs to listen to this. A Hollywood ending, the dreams and drama of the LeBron Lakers. I interviewed Yaron Weitzman, and that interview is dropping tomorrow. I highly recommend this book. Go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever you're going to go ahead and get this book. If you want to know the insides of the Los Angeles Lakers, stuff that Joe doesn't know about, stuff that Empire Jeff doesn't know about, stuff that a lot of people don't know about. In fact, the Los Angeles Lakers didn't want Yaron putting this out there. They actually threatened legal action against him at one time about this book. So there's a lot of stuff in there, and I've read it quite a bit already. There is quite a lot of stuff that Joe and I have surmised about what goes on behind the scenes and surmised correctly behind the scenes. But a lot of great stories, a lot of great stuff behind the scenes. If you are interested, this is for you, Lakers Fast Break fans. Go ahead and pick it up. Again, A Hollywood Ending, the dreams and drama of the LeBron Lakers. I will put the Amazon link in the description below. But before we head on out, my friend, I wanted to go ahead and hear your thoughts on what kind of precedent does this set? Did you just pass this off as, okay, they lost, they didn't look good tonight, they didn't love the effort at times? I know that Robert Nance says he loves the effort. I saw with DeAndre Ayton, sometimes I wanted to see a little bit more, the motor running at a little bit higher level at times. I know we talked about it on playback. I wanted to see a little bit more force from the Lakers. Obviously, a lot of energy was given by, of course, Marcus Smart, but got into foul trouble in that first half and couldn't really just hang on to that type of intensity once he reached that 4 foul limit. Austin getting fouled time or fouling time and time again. 5 fouls, or halfway through that third quarter. Mistake, I think, by JJ leaving him out there. But again, you can say all you want, but the Lakers just didn't get it done. But does this set a precedent for the season going forward?
Well, I did like Marcus Smart's tenacity. I thought that was something the team needed, and it actually did help. The issue is you can't have your 2 best players on the court miss 6 free throws either, especially when they're your ball handling guards. So Luka and Austin Reeves went 7 of 10 from the free throw line. That's 6 points they left on the table. I'm not saying you got to make all 10, but you got to be 9 of 10 in these kind of games. Because if Jimmy Butler's hitting 16 out of 16, you have to hit 9 out of 10. So now you have 4 extra points there. And it might not sound like a lot, but in a momentum and a momentum shifting play, that extra point helps. And also, Luka wasn't too good on from behind the arc. If they're both hitting 20% from the 3-point line, that's not going to help. They both needed to hit. Luka needed to hit 2 more, and Reeves needed to hit 1 more. So let's look at the numbers there real quick, Gerald. If Luka hits 2 more 3-pointers, that's 6 points. If Reeves hits 1 more, that's 9 points. If they both go 9 of 10 from the free throw line, you're looking at now how many points?
Well, you're looking at
13
right
points. What did they lose by?
They lost by 10.
Sometimes it's not that difficult to know why something didn't work out. And it's not maybe entirely their fault. Maybe they were tired, or maybe they had an off night. But see, that's the whole point of a system. That's the whole point of getting easier baskets. JJ Redick doesn't seem to understand what he has in this roster, because there's too much thinking about appeasing things. It's not about doing what is necessary. If LeBron James was 27, we're not having this discussion. But LeBron is 41. LeBron is done. Why are you kissing this guy's ass? Why are you doing all this? Why did you give him a 1-on-1 2 years ago? That's still a mystery to me. They didn't have to do that. They just got bounced by the Nuggets at that point. If it was after them going to the Western Conference Finals, okay, I would have understood that maybe a little bit. But this management is there to appease, and if they are all about selling jerseys and all this bullshit, this is good timing that they're selling the team, because y'all can eat shit with your jersey sales. I don't give a fuck about your jersey sales as a fan. I'm not paying tickets and I'm not wasting my time because you're selling jerseys. You can eat a dick. You're gonna hear it now. Now you're gonna hear it. If that's really your why you drafted a fucking disaster talent so you can sell jerseys, you're a piece of shit owner. You're Artie Moreno. You're that dick face in Pittsburgh that owns the Pirates. You're that guy. And I'm not ashamed to say that, because that's exactly what you are. This is the LA Lakers. You shouldn't be worried about selling jerseys. You're selling jerseys already. PPP lady. Don't think I forget. I know.
Oh, yeah, that's
That tells you a lot about character. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
it's in here.
yeah. Remember,
there's
folks.
There's a funny. I just want to say, there's a funny Antoine Jameson story. I know you would like, Joe.
Okay.
I'll just say that.
Telling you right now, guys, this is very important. I don't preach. I don't tell people what to do. I just set the alarm. I tell you about the alarm. If you're good at spotting BS, if you're not good at spotting BS, learn it. Because, man, when you do, you run into very, very little issues. You cut off problems. When you cut off problems, you don't have problems. I don't know why there's this insatiable appetite for people to deal with bullshit. I don't get it. I've never gotten it, especially as I got older.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Why do you have to deal with this? Who says you have to? For who? For what? Little line from Dennis Hopper in Speed, one of my favorite action movies. Although it was made famous more by Ricky Waters when he said it. I remember when he said it, I go, that's Dennis Hopper's line. What the? Hey, did you guys hear that? Of course, I'm the only one that usually knows shit like that, right? All you do is movie quotes.
Dennis Hopper in that movie met an untimely end.
He was Dennis Hopper in that film. Dennis Hopper was a legend before then, but that is as good as it gets when you talk about a villain on a film. And the way I felt like my dad when he watched The Natural. My dad, God rest his soul, I watched The Natural with my dad a few times. He goes, I can't tell if he's acting. He was just in awe of Robert Redford in that movie. He goes, I can't tell he's acting. I go, that's the point, Pop. That's the point. And he goes, yeah, but this is different. Like, it's freakish how good Redford was in The Natural, right? Dennis Hopper for me in Speed was that kind of like that feeling. I'm like, Dennis Hopper, I feel like they called him up and they say, hey, man, we're going to be doing this movie about this bus that drives around LA and there's a bomb in it. And we need
to 60 miles an hour. I think.
Right, yeah. and hey, Dennis, we want you to play this guy, which is basically you. Can you play yourself in this film? Oh yeah, sure. We're gonna have who's in it? Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock. I don't know who Sandra Bullock is because at that time no one really knew who she was.
No, not really.
Keanu Reeves, yeah, he was not bad in Point Break. Sure, yeah, let's have some fun with it. I'll have some fun with some California theme type movie in LA. Whenever I go to the theater more than once to see a movie, that's when you know it's great. Yeah, I know, man. Yeah, I know, Search. That's the hardest part about greatness is at some point greatness will be gone. You don't get the Dennis. You're not going to ever get a Dennis Hopper again. You're never going to get a Sinatra. You're never going to get a Dean Martin. You're never going to get a Robin Williams. You're never going to get a John Candy, man. That one is still 31 years later. It's still sad.
Speaking of which, you should go ahead and check out that.
I did. I watched it already.
Yeah.
I was waiting for that.
From Colin Hanks, Tom's son.
Yeah, it was. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that we saw. We'll talk about the '90s again, and a lot of those guys. Tom Hanks. I mean, Tom Hanks has made me cry laughing so much, and we know that John Candy would have been that guy still. I wish he had John Goodman's genes. John Goodman was a big guy until recently, right?
Yeah.
And I can only imagine what career, and I can say about Chris Farley too. Although I think John Candy was more talented than Chris Farley, but Chris Farley, there was a book that was waiting to come with him, and what I mean by book, as in the films, he was going to be Shrek. He was supposed to be the Cable Guy. Now, I love the Cable Guy with Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey to me is honestly the GOAT. But it would have been an interesting movie with him. It might have been more endearing for a public audience versus somebody who's a kind of got dark humor in his head like me and enjoyed the Jim Carrey version of Cable Guy. But it was, we lived in the 90s there was so much quality. There was so much quality. Art, music was great. Hip hop blew up. Grunge blew up. It's a great time. Eminem came in the late 90s. Britney came in the late 90s. Like, it was, everything just was great. I miss the simplicity of it all. I think that's probably what it was. It was more geared towards simple things, get it done right as much as you can, and it wasn't complicated. You didn't have to worry about some kind of internet lynch mob telling you that this is not going to work. Like, you had your critics, you had the Siskel and Eberts and all that, but that was it. Everything else was, if you don't like this, tough. Look at Office Space. Office Space was a bomb in the box office, but I remember reading it came out in 99. I remember reading the numbers in terms of the rentals. You know, that movie made over $100 million from rentals. $100 million in rentals. And I can't disagree with it, because I that was the last VHS tape I watched regularly. I remember when I first saw that movie, I loved it so much. I watched it every night for a month going to bed. I'd fall asleep sometimes, and sometimes I'd watch it all the way through. Absolutely was in love with that movie. That movie was so great. Missed those times. Missed John Candy's, missed the Chris Farley's, missed SNL in the 90s too. That whole crew with Will Ferrell and Tim Meadows, and man, it was a good time. It really was. I wish we could get that back a little bit, but I don't think it's possible.
Did want to give a shout out to Intel Wild. Truly appreciate you being here, my friend. I know that you came in late, but again, disappointing third quarter as the Lakers lose 119-109. Our next game is on Friday against Minnesota. Again, we'll have it for you on playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. The simulcast will be on our YouTube channel, providing I don't get any copyright strikes against me. Also, as well, want to make mention that, of course, my good friend up above that you see, not only right there, Luca, already displayed as far as canvas art. You got right there, Kobe displayed as canvas art, but also Kobe right there. Just, truly overwhelming what Drip Show does. The quality, the work right here, Joe, is just absolutely amazing. He's made you a hat, shirt. He's got the sign. You've got canvas art behind you as well. He does such great details, so many great things. Dodgers, Lakers, sports, pop culture related. I was even shouting out as far as, if you're a big if got a big Taylor Swift fan and want something custom made like that, anything you can think of, he might do. Just go ahead and reach out at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. Reach out, go ahead, message him of what you're thinking of. He'll let you know if he'll do it. He'll let you know if it's in a shirt, hat, pillow, canvas art, something else. If he can do it, there's no one better as far as canvas art or any type of art for that matter for you than Drip Show at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. I'll tell you what, my friend, though, before we head out, I did want to tell you a story. Because you know how often I give the pushback on people in our chat about the A's, you should be grateful having the A's in Las Vegas, et cetera, et cetera. We talk about that, right? How nobody in our city wants the A's in Las Vegas here. Well, I passed by a store here, and I'm just going to go grab some milk, whatnot, leaving the store, and I look at the racks as far as men's clothing. Got full-on Aces 2025 champions, full-on UNLV racks and rack of stuffs. Dodgers, racks and racks of items, racks and racks of shirts, jackets, etc., etc. All full price, Joe, $25, $30 and like. And a big sign, Joe, for the A's t-shirts, clearance at $5. I think that says it all, Joe.
There's going to have to be some winning before there's a connection, I think, there.
Well, we don't even the Raiders, same thing. There has to be
A's,
some winning in the
the
Raiders,
A's,
same
the
thing
A's,
as well.
The A's are the most transient franchise, I think, in sports history. They won in Philadelphia when they were the Philadelphia A's. They won in Oakland when they were the Oakland A's. If they win in Las Vegas, they'll have that. It's an interesting history of the A's, and no one's wanted this amazing franchise all these years. They won championships in the early 20th century. They won in, I think, 1910, 1911.
That's the Philadelphia Athletics, correct?
Philadelphia Athletics. They were the Yankees coming out the gate because the World Series started in 1903. And then they three-peated in Oakland from 72, 73, 74, won a championship in 89. A lot of history there, man. A lot of history with the A's. They were the Kansas City A's for, I think, 12 years. I mean, it's for me, some of the greatest players of my growing up were A's players. Ricky Henderson, Mark McGuire, Jose Canseco, Walt Weiss, Carney Lansford. I mean, when we were kids, we used to imitate these guys' batting stance. Eck, Dave Stewart. And it's amazing how Reggie Jackson was Mr. October before he was in New York. He won 3 straight titles with Oakland in the 70s. It's amazing how you can have so much greatness in an organization, yet they couldn't keep those guys in Oakland. Just sad. So what happens in Las Vegas now? Now they'll have been in 4 cities. So what's next?
Says, well, at least the A's aren't to Colorado or the White Sox. Well, they have been able to draw in many, many years, Aaron. So we'll see how it works out. It'll be a lot of teams coming in. Dodgers, Angels, doesn't matter who, Blue Jays, what have you, coming in, and the fans will all be from the other team. It's just like the Raiders games, where sometimes as much as 70% of the crowd is the opposite team. So we'll wait and see how that happens. But before we head on out, wanted to go ahead and hit up JY's question. As long as the Lakers aren't a play-in team in the regular season, they give themselves a shot, Joe and G. I mean, you have Luka. So you always have a shot.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a shot, but if your coach isn't, JJ's would have to be really good at his job, and you're gonna have to be able to use the tools that he has as effective as possible. And today was not a good start. A lot of bad. It wasn't okay. This guy's missing his shot. Okay, this guy's not getting through his spots. This was deliberate bad decisions in terms of where the ball was going. Those aren't usually mistakes that are fixable. Usually it's because those kind of mistakes shouldn't happen. But their defense is horrible too, by the way. They couldn't stop Golden State the last half of the fourth quarter. They couldn't make a stop, even when they were stealing the ball a little bit and then coming back from a 15-point deficit, and all of a sudden it's down to 6. They couldn't make the stops when it mattered. And that has been a problem for a very long time. That's another issue with this team. They can't make a stop to save their life. They can't inbound the ball to save their life at the end of games. It's the same broken record. With LeBron, without LeBron, Austin in there, Austin not in there, Luka there, Luka not there. There's an identity problem in LA. It needs to be gutted. You have to remove the cancer. Cancer is the leadership of this team. Owner to GM to the coach. And then, of course, the LeBron stranglehold. The LeBron stranglehold needs to be cut so that you don't have to worry about appeasing him and still not getting anything out of it. That is the worst thing you can do in sports. Continue to appease a player who's not producing. And not only that, but you're paying him appeasing money. You're paying him the appeasing money, but he's not appeasing shit where it matters.
Intel says LeBron is the cancer, and then a super chat. Thank you so much for the super
And
chat
he
again.
is.
Intel.
He is a cancer. He is a cancer,
But he said also as well, though, he said he finished it off with, if LeBron was there, we could have won, but because the Warriors aren't that good.
You're right. If LeBron had played today, there would have been a better shot at winning. But I'm not worried about game 1 of the year. I'm worried about playoffs. And LeBron has come up lame every year for the last 4 years. You're not paying him $50 million to come up lame at the end of the year. And yet you have to also be realistic that you're asking a guy in his 40s to be a star. And he's not. He's a star by history. He's a star by, yes, he does still get his numbers, but he's not a star where it matters. And that is guiding your team deep into the playoffs and competing for a championship. It's become the Lakers have become a stepping stool for other teams. They're getting beat by a 6 seed in the first round, 4-1. They're getting beat by another team a year before, 4-1. They're not even competing. They get swept in the Western Conference Finals the year before then. So the last 3 series, they've only won 2 playoff games. I'm not counting the play-in, by the way. I don't give a shit about the play-in. To me, that's not a playoff game, even though technically it is. 2 meaningful wins in the last 3 series in the playoffs. And you're paying somebody $52 million to be the guy. And that's the production that you're getting back. No one in their right mind can argue against that. That's the beautiful thing about not being caught up in feelings and not being caught up in bullshit. Get rid of bullshit out of your life and you won't deal with as much bullshit. Even if the world is collapsing around you, even if the news wants you to watch all the trash that they want you to watch, if you cut out the bullshit, you'll quickly find out that you'll be dealing with less of it. Because you don't have to listen to The View. You don't have to listen to sport news stations. You don't have to do any of that stuff. Take care of your own shit. Pay attention to your own shit. And don't let somebody else convince you to think a certain way when it's not the right way to think. The right way to think is use common sense. What is the common sense way of thinking? We'll stick to the Lakers. I don't want to go too far off this subject. What has he produced? He has not produced what his money has brought. It's not. I didn't do it. I didn't do anything. I'm just telling you. 2 playoff wins in the last 3 series. You tell me, is that worth $52 million a year, Gerald? That's almost $160 million that LeBron has made in the last 3 seasons that produced 2 playoff wins in those 3 series. Tell me if that's a fair trade, Gerald.
Not to me.
Right. Now, if it was 3 deep runs to the Western Conference Finals and then coming up lame, I would have given you a little bit more room there. Even if they had lost, even if they lost in the same way in terms of in 5. Making a deep run in 3 consecutive years to the conference finals, that at least is, to me, getting that's a deep run. That's a deep run into the playoffs. But it's not. They're getting bounced out of the first round the last 2 seasons. Can't afford that. Can't afford to pay somebody to get bounced in the first round in consecutive seasons. I'm sorry. It's not in LA, not as a Laker. I'm sorry. Orlando, Charlotte, New Orleans, Oklahoma City. Those guys get bounced in the first round. It's not as big of an impact in my view. Lakers can't do that. Lakers have to be perennial title contenders, and that's just the way it is. If you're not, you have to figure out a way how to do it. Otherwise, you're wasting everyone's time.
Mark Walter can't come in soon enough, and hopefully cleaning of the house will be in order after that. So funny because we talked about Sam Presti would be the first place we'd go to as far as backing up the Brinks truck if we had our choice. Tonight, just to show you how deep they are, the only guy who didn't play for OKC or who didn't check into the game was the guy they traded 3 number 1 draft picks for, Ousmane Dieng, and he didn't even play. And he's been terrible his entire career. That was a rare miss by Sam Presti, but he sure made up for it in other ways and other players. In fact, the guy that they drafted right after Dieng with their own pick, Williams, yeah, I think he turned out to be pretty good, especially in the finals last season. But we've got the Lakers. We do love the Lakers, and we're still continuing to be Lakers fans and Lakers supporters through the thick and thin, through the ups and downs. And we're just glad you're here to tell you like it is. Please support us by liking, subscribing, doing whatever you can. We do want to be able to get in that upper echelon of Lakers shows. In fact, FeedSpot already has us as the number 3 Lakers show on the planet and the number 2 basketball show in California. Don't know how that worked out, but yes, that's what I don't know if Joe read that part of the email, but that was there. So that's crazy. But thank you to FeedSpot for doing that. And no, we didn't bribe them either. So please go ahead and support us and continue to do so. It is greatly appreciated. But Joe, on a not so great night, wanted to go ahead and thank you so much, and thank everybody in the chat for watching, listening. Truly appreciate it. We got to JY's question, I think, right before. I think we touched on that. Yeah, I think we did. Yeah, we got to Intel's super chat. Truly appreciate you doing that. As far as that's concerned, all the super chats, all the mods as well. Search and Destroy, Sports Baby, Xbox, everybody out there, JSJ, doing a great job modding. Joe, well, Intel says it. We didn't look that good tonight. Luka and Austin look great, and I like Smart's toughness, but Ayton, Hashimura, where were you at? Gabe, too. Yeah, they didn't play as well as expected. Ayton, his motor, you could see where he just, at times, you could have asked for more effort from him, but again, it's the ups and downs of having DeAndre Ayton on your team. We're just going to have to get used to it, and hopefully it'll work out. They'll learn to utilize his skills a lot better. the coaching will hopefully get better, and hopefully we'll have a team that can compete very well in the Western Conference. But Joe, an interesting night indeed. Not the way we wanted to start off our season, but any last thoughts before we head on out?
There's a chance this is going to be a long season for Laker fandom. And Friday can't come soon enough. There was a positive in Toronto winning. Baseball's a funny sport. Nothing's guaranteed in baseball. I mean, nothing's guaranteed in any sport, but it's not likely the Dodgers are going to lose this series. There's always a possibility, obviously, but the cool thing is there's a chance that the Dodgers can win a World Series in LA this year for the first time since 1963. And I wanted them to win it in Yankee Stadium last year. There's no way that happens every year. And I had to witness that, beating the Yankees. I wanted the Lakers to beat Boston in 2010. Didn't get it, but it's okay. Still won. But more than just winning it last year, the Dodgers left New York, the most hollowed franchise in baseball history. They left there taking their trophy. And I think that just had it was very poetic. This year, I would love Game 4, Game 5, up 7 or 8-1, and seeing Clayton Kershaw get the last 3 outs. I can't hear you, G.
Tough. We're not going just yet because Vari wants me to answer this question. Question is for you from Best League. Oh boy, here we go.
What is it?
You asked for it, Best. Joe, why do the Lakers extend Luka, who lost 8 of his last 10 playoff games?
Why did they extend him?
Yes.
Because he's a 26-year-old phenom still. The only reason why they were in the finals 2 years ago was because of him. Kyrie Irving came up short, came up lame in the finals. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that he was tired, probably. That run that Dallas made, they had no business being in the finals that year. And then, of course, their loss against Minnesota was Luka dealing with probably his new home, new changes, and being out of shape. And no one else kind of picked up the slack with him. History says that the Lakers are going to win a championship with Luka. I'm going to stand by that based off the history. The thing is, they have to get rid of the fat. There's too much fat on this team. Pardon the pun, but there needs to be a complete cleaning, complete fasting of this roster. Fast it to oblivion by the end of the year, and then build this team to be a Luka machine with the right coach and the right leadership in the front office. I'm counting the days on when the official transfer is done. We're going to have a really good show that night when that happens, because there's going to be a little bit more detail on it, especially considering we're a couple weeks away from the completion of the baseball season. And if the Dodgers win the World Series, there's going to be even more information on why the Guggenheims are, in my view, the best owners in sports. And they're still the best owners
hold on,
in sports.
I got this Best has got a capper on it. Why don't they extend LeBron if they extended Luka? They both lost many.
Are you really asking that question? Do you really want me to answer that? Are you really asking that question? Who's asking this question?
Best League.
How old is LeBron? How old is Luka? Why am I even having to ask you that question? Unless you're fucking with us. What do you want LeBron to do? You want to pay him until he's 78? That was a dumb question. Unless you were fucking with us, then at that point it's still dumb.
You don't want to extend a 41-year-old man, another 50 to $55 million each and every year. It's just, you're not going to get the money back on your return. If he decides he wants to stay with the Lakers and comes back $20 million or such, fine. I think we could all say, all right, we'll deal with it for another year or so and then be done with it. But
if it wasn't LeBron, I'd say yes, but I'm done with LeBron. Even if he came back for free, I don't want him here.
You don't want him here?
Nope.
You don't want to deal with it at all?
Nope.
Okay.
He engulfs the universe. His gravitational pull is too distracting. It's too distracting. He needs to go. It's time to go. Thank you for your 8 years. Thank you for the championship. Time to go. Go become a movie producer, whatever the hell it is that he's planning to do.
So with that,
and by the way, LeBron is a very, very popular man in the world. I get it, but he's not endearing like a Kobe or a Michael or a Magic.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you. Hold on. Go ahead. Finish up.
Ahead.
I got it. Just popped in my head what question I want to ask you. Go ahead. Finish up.
I'm done.
Oh, I was going to say, how did you like the NBA on NBC tonight? Because I know you were getting
nice.
the nipples and good fuzzy feelings.
Yeah, it was nice. I liked the presentation. I liked the score on the bottom of the TV. For those of you who don't know, that the last time we heard NBA on NBC, it was Chick Hearn's last call for the.
I love Chet Holmgren's response. I wasn't even alive.
Yeah. The last time the NBA was on NBC before tonight was Game 4 of the 2002 NBA Finals. It was Chick Hearn's last before he passed away. I think it was a few months later. So it was a little bit of a nostalgia feeling, knowing that the last time that tune was on an NBA telecast, the Lakers were three-peating, and the great Chick Hearn went out a champion, a glorious champion.
I was so hoping Michael Jordan was going to rip on somebody.
That's not really his style, though.
Well, he did wish he could take a magic pill and return to play in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, you put Michael. Let's say you put his skills in 1989 in today's game, and he's averaging 45 a game. You can't, if you don't hand check Jordan, he's averaging 45.
Again, NBA is now on NBC.
He averaged 37 one year. So is it out of the realm that he would average another 8 points in this era?
If he at near the end of his career, started to work on his three a little bit more. So yeah, that would be out of the realm.
He would have adapted to anything. Yeah. It's funny that the I don't want to get into this, but it's funny how there's an assumption
John
that
isn't here.
He even has eased down a little bit. I think he's learning. If you don't think that Michael Jordan wouldn't have adapted, you're a fucking idiot. And by the way, there's a finals game where he was hitting threes like Steph Curry in an era where they didn't shoot threes. If Michael wanted to shoot 10 threes and make 4 of them every game, he could do it. He was that damn good. And if he didn't hit 4 out of 10, he'd hit them when it mattered. That was the other problem with him. He could go 9 for 30 in a game, but he'd still come up on top when it mattered the most. The scariest player I've ever seen when you pissed him off, by the way. The only one that came close was Kobe. Don't piss off Kobe, but Michael, the second you pissed him off, it was game over. Like, it was instant. The guy would murder you the rest of the way. He played very well angry. The only one I ever saw that did it the same way, that got close, not the same way, was Kobe. You pissed off Kobe, Kobe was going to burn you. Miss those days, man.
They were very memorable indeed. Martin says, I'm counting hundreds of boxes right now in jerseys. The popular teams are going to sell out once the NBA playoffs are near. Jordan are always a constant. Yeah, he's always up there. He always has like a certain line of just people always buying his jersey each and every year. And absolutely, just again, the Jordan brand with Nike, and absolutely, just he has changed the face of how we see and perceive basketball. And again, if you're LeBron's your guy as far as the greatest of all time, that's your opinion. But for us, we got a chance to see it live, and it is Michael Jordan for us. But right now, for us, it is time for us to head on out. Again, Lakers fast break. I will see possibly about running a show either tomorrow or Thursday. I'm going to let this just disseminate as far as let's see how it digests as far as the loss is concerned and see what the fallout is from that. But it is, of course, the Lakers fast break. The Lakers lose 119-109 to start the season. But Joe has also got the Joe Sorrell Experiment channel on YouTube. Please like and subscribe. Don't forget his playback channel, which will be showcasing the World Series coming up later this week, which we're all excited about. Go Dodgers. And we'll see what happens as the Lakers return to action against the Minnesota Timberwolves on Friday as well. But you guys have been great in the chat. Truly appreciate you coming back to see us. Hopefully you will continue to see us throughout the season, whether it's high or low, good or bad, win or loss. We're still going to be here for you because we're the best that does it anywhere when it comes to the Los Angeles Lakers, right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. Okay, where is it? The first of the season, Joe. Go ahead. All right. We'll take it.
Yeah.